Well, I'm out at the job site. It's raining cats and dogs, or liquid from the sky. I ain't working out here today. Okay, let's talk about some basic ideas on how to get started building a house. So first thing you want to do is sit down and draw out a house plan. So when you're going through this part, you want to ask yourself, how many bathrooms do I want? How many bedrooms do I need? Where do I want the bathrooms, the bedrooms, and the living room in relationship to each other? Next thing you want to talk about is your budget. You got to figure out, what is my budget for this house? Am I building it too big? Do I need to reduce the square footage? What's my budget going to be for property and the overall cost of things? After you have a generalized idea of what it is you want, kind of what your budget's going to be, then you want to look for actual house plans. There's a couple of ways you can do that. You can go online and you can find pre-made house plans and then take a look at what you have and then see if there's anything out there that's already done. Or a better suggestion, I would say, is to find someone in your local area who's a draftsman or a home designer in your area. And the reason that's an advantage is because your area may have certain codes, certain regulations and things like that a local draftsman or home designer can help you figure out and help you navigate through. Also, there are some built-in design parameters that they should know, like that meet your local building code, like how close can windows be to the corners of the house without requiring additional engineering and things like that. Better to try to find someone who is in your area and familiar with the local building codes. Once you get the blueprints, now it's time to start looking for a piece of property. You know kind of what the house looks like, so you kind of know, have an idea at least what the lot needs to be. I mean, if you design a long, narrow house or a tall 2 or 3 story house that has a narrow footprint, that will fit on something different than what a ranch style single story house is going to fit on. That's the same square footage, but it needs a much wider blueprint or footprint. Find a piece of property that kind of meet those needs. There's a lot of considerations when you're looking for a piece of property. So get a good realtor who has experience in selling land. But once you find a piece of property that you like and you think meets all your needs, make sure you walk the whole piece of property. Make sure that you're not going to get caught with any surprises. 2 things that you definitely want to do before you actually buy the property and sign on the dotted line. One thing you're going to want to do is you want to set up a meeting with the local building department that you have to go through for your final building permit. And talk to them about the piece of property, find out if, in the past has anybody tried to build on it and weren't approved because there were certain conditions that they weren't able to meet, or because there was conditions that needed to be met that were expensive, like maybe there was some type of geoengineering involved or something like that. So meet with the local building department to find that out. You're also going to want to hire a septic company to come out and do a perk test on the property to see how viable a septic system is. You may not need to do that if there's a local sewer system that you can attach to. In that case, you're going to want to talk to the local PUD about that. But in most cases, you're going to need a septic system, and you'll want to hire a good, respectable septic company because they'll come out, they'll dig some holes on the piece of property, they'll make a determination on how pervious the ground is and what type of septic system will be required for that piece of property. And then they can usually give you some kind of an estimate on what that type of system will cost you to have installed, depending on how many rooms your house is going to have. Now, once you have the blueprints and you have the piece of property picked out and you're ready to buy that piece of property, start thinking about things like, do I need an engineer? Hopefully the home designer or draftsman that helped you draft up the house will be able to tell you this house meets all the standard protocols for engineering. Hey, you got a couple of tall walls on here, or you have windows, too many windows for one wall, it's going to require some additional engineering. could require that you need to hire an engineer to do the final design on the house. Do you need a stormwater plan? A lot of areas, especially like the area that I'm building in, you definitely need stormwater engineering. The next thing you want to think about is getting a site plan. And the first step of getting a site plan is for you to have not only picked out the piece of property that you want to buy, but also, you have the house designs, because now you need to place those house designs on a map of the property, along with all the other things that are required, such as, where is the septic going to be? What are the setbacks on the front of the house from the property lines? Where is a well going to be? Where's the road going through? Where's the road entrance? All of that has to be laid out. Basically, whoever you're going through in the building department is going to want to see what is the whole plan. So you'll have to have a site plan drawn up, and it has to be to scale too. Another thing that I had to have engineering done on, or I had to have an environmental engineer to come out and designate where the wetlands are, where the setbacks are for the pond or the wetland area. And then there's other things to think about, like I mentioned before, is you may need geoengineering. If finally you're going to want to get your septic system approved by the local building department or health department, the septic installer will typically handle all that for you. Last but not least, once you get all those documents put together and all the engineering put together, you will submit all of that into your local building department like I did. Okay folks, I hope this video helped. I know it was a little long, it's kind of boring and dry because it's just me talking, but hopefully we got some video to show you guys in the future. Thanks.